season, and they've dealt with several other injuries to key guys. It's a credit to Dan Hurley and the team that they're 7-7 in A10 play. So can they keep their heads above water in these last couple of weeks heading into Brooklyn, or will they limp to the finish line? URI at Davidson tonight, where they spotted the Wildcats a 12-point lead. Jack Gibbs adds to it with a floater. Davidson up 18-4. Brody would cut the lead to 8 at half, but playing without Hassan Martin, who was nursing a knee injury. Jared Terrell helping the cause with a jumper. Then it's Earl Watson with great position down low. Lead down to 7, but Davidson would pull away. Peyton Aldridge, 3 of his game-high 24. Rhodey falls on the road 65-54. Meanwhile, the PC basketball team has a full week in between games as they gear up for their final stretch run. So guys like Ben Bentil have been able to rest up ahead of Thursday's big one at Seton Hall.
Trying to get these wins, to solidify a spot in the NCAA tournament and get a high bid in the biggest tournament. So it's really important.
GNAC Conference Tournament underway. Johnson and Wales hosting St. Joseph's. Query Greenaway finds Tommy Garrick, and the junior throws it down. Big fella, game high 20. A little later, Garrick picks up an assist on Anthony Jernigan's 3, a dozen for him. Then Greenaway backs down in the posts, gets the turnaround to Foley at 18. JWU wins big 73-36. They'll host a semifinal game on Thursday. It was a jam-packed night of high school hoops around the state with quarterfinal action for both boys and girls. Starting D1 boys, 4-seed Classical hosting neighbor Central off the inbounds. Malik Chase finds David Duke, sizes up the tray, and calmly drains it. 13 for him. Knights trying to stay close. Willie Sanchez down on the block. He gets the floater to fall. On the other end, Duke, the feed inside of Jamari Johnson. Big man gathers and finishes. He had 12. Classical books a spot in the semis, 73-42. Westerly packed the gym tonight for their playoff game with Tolman. First half Tigers, Joseph Concalves gets into the paint, gets the floater to drop, but Westerly too strong on their home court. This is Tabor Gates knocking down the corner 3 for the Bulldogs. Then off the turnover, Robert Fry staying patient, going high off the glass for 2. Bulldogs advance 73-48. East Greenwich visiting a rowdy Narragansett, but it didn't affect the Avengers early. Brian Gemma jacking one up from 3. Nothing but nylon. How about Gansett's Thomas Whitford? Too much to handle. Whitford following his miss for 2. Then once again down on the block, gets the kind roll. Narragansett gets it done 60-46 over East Greenwich. Huge playoff game with added spice. NK versus SK rivalry game. This is NK Siena daring, spotting up from 3 and knocking it down, but the Rebels seize control of the game first. Celia Tomlinson, offensive board, the put back. Then watch Madison West, little pump fake, and the 2-step before banking it home. Lady Rebels take care of business 50-23. Top seed in D2, Moses Brown, the only unbeaten team left in the Interscholastic League, hosting Johnston. This one all Quakers. Isabel Robinson, nice look to Olichi Azema. 19 points, 14 rebounds, 8 blocks. Then it's Isabella Chanel off the inbounds. MB rolls over Johnston 64-29. To baseball down in Fort Myers, David Ortiz is getting settled in for his final spring training in a Red Sox uniform. Can you believe this will be his 14th season with Boston? Ortiz was asked today if he is still productive this season, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs per usual, if he will reconsider retirement, but he seems to be content with his decision. Plus, he's not retired just yet.
I haven't experienced that, but I think I'm ready to pass the torch. Plus, I look around me and everybody's 20. So I think I'm ready. That's why I announced it. Until now, it's going to be that way. And hopefully, I don't cause any distraction. I'm planning winning this year.
Still to come on the Sports Wrap, Kevin McNamara of the Providence Journal in studio to discuss all things PC hoops. Don't go anywhere.
Flood Auto Group Sports Wrap continues on Fox Providence.
Welcome back to the Sports Wrap, joined now by Kevin McNamara, college hoops writer at the Providence Journal. Thanks so much for coming in. All right, a lot of PC talk ahead. They've lost 5 of 7. They're now 7-7 in the Big East. Where is your panic meter right now for the Friars?
Well, I'd say it would be with one more home loss. You know, they 4 games left at Seton Hall Thursday. It's a difficult game. Seton Hall's 2 games ahead of them in the schedule. But, you know, league schedules with a double round robin, where you play teams is important. They haven't played St. John's and DePaul a second time yet, where other teams already have. And obviously, those are games that the Friars need to win.
Obviously, being in the top 25 offers you a certain cachet and prestige. They've been in it most of their season, up to 8 in the nation. Dropped out of the AP poll this week. Is that a hit to the brand, or do you think, conversely, it could help Ed Cooley motivate his guys?
I would opt for, option number 2. No one respects you anymore. You guys are sliding. It's time to pick it up, which is all true.
Right.
I mean, right now, Providence has gone from the, in the mock tournament seedings to a 5-4 down to the 8-9 game. And no one wants to be, slip and sliding here as February turns to March. It's time for Providence to get going again. And the schedule does work in their favor down the stretch, but you have to take advantage of it.
All right, Seton Hall on Thursday, the Friars lost to Seton Hall at the Dunk earlier this season. What do you take away from that matchup, and how do you think Thursday plays out?
I think Seton Hall is a difficult matchup for Providence. They not only have a quickness advantage, and that's Providence's number 1 trait, I believe, but they also really attack the glass. They killed the Friars off the glass in the first game in Providence. It's a tough matchup, even more so because Seton Hall badly needs to win the game to lock up an NCAA berth. They're probably one big win short.
All right, we mentioned there's 4 games left. There's St. John's. How do you think they fare the Final Four?
I think Providence will go 3-1. 2-2 would probably still be good enough to get them in. They'd finish 9-9 in the league with some good out of conference, victories, as well as beating the league champion in Villanova. 3-1, I think they'll be fine. 3-1 at 10-8, I think they'll probably be a 6-7 seed in the NCAA tournament, which no one should complain about that. All
right, thanks so much, Kevin McNamara. Read him in the Providence Journal and on ProJo.com. You'll be at the game on Thursday.
We'll be there.
All right. Follow his live Twitter updates throughout the game. Much more from the Sports Wrap coming up right after this.